Okay, so yeah, I want to review a little bit about what we learned in the last class. So basically, in the last class, we learned something about three major operation of every program. Right? What are they? Every program, basically, you have the three major operations. Yeah, you got input, right? Processing and output. Right? So basically, for every program, you have the input. You can get it from the user, or you can get it from whatever. You can get it from file or mouse or whatever it is. You have processing, right? You have after you got the input, the program will do everything with the calculation, right? And after that is the output. Also, in the software, you have the two types of software. You have application software, right? And you have the system software. Right? So basically, application is everything enhance the productivity. You can think about Photoshop or Microsoft Word or whatever it is. The second one is system software. Is the one who controls the hardware and who interface with the end user. You can think about operating system or firmware. And also you have the kind of the low level language and you have the high level language, and you know what is the pro and con of them, right? And okay, and also learn something about the compiler and interpreter. Compiler, basically you have to compile the whole file into executable file, and every time you run, you got input from user, and you run it again and again and again, right? But interpreter, the work is line by line. You have more interact with the end user. Okay, so we learned about something about you learn something about the program development cycle. You have to understand the problem. You plan the logic, code the program, use the software, test the program, and put the program into production and maintain the program. Again, it is a cycle. That's why at any step you can go back and to fix and to update it here. Now think about it. Very simple program. Think about I can give you a very simple example that think about it. My wife, she told me that she want to eat some cookie, right? Okay, so now I think it's very easy piece of cake. So I think it's okay. I can make it. So I can go to Kroger. I buy flour. I buy milk, sugar, and I mix it and I put in the oven. And after a while, I give it to her. Did I do anything wrong with that? Anything wrong with my action? What do you think? Anything wrong?
You didn't put butter in the cookies.
Anything wrong? What do you think? She told me she wants some cookie. Yes, it's easy for me. I go to for.
You didn't ask her what kind of cookies.
Yeah, right. That's why for every problem here, the first thing you have to understand the problem. You have to be very specific about the requirement here. Right? Otherwise, the more specific, the more problem you got it from end user here, the more success you get it later. Right? So basically, the understanding problem is very important step here. So you have to specify what type of cookie, right? How many cookie? It's small or big? It's crunchy or not? And if you want the butter or if you want the chocolate chip or not, you have to very specific in the requirement here. Right? Otherwise, anytime I have to go Kroger again, I have to buy the butter again, I have to go to Kroger again, I have to buy the chocolate chip again. Right? So yeah, that is very important step in the program development cycle here. The first thing is that you have to understand problem. The second thing is that you have to plan the logic. Plan the logic, that thing you have to write down the recipe here. You have step by step, you have to mix them together. How many grams of flour, how many grams of sugar, you have to very specific here. Right? And see, they are the two more important steps in the program development cycle. You have to understand the problem and you have to plan the logic. After you got the recipe, you just follow the recipe in the code program. Actually, the code program is very simple. You understand the logic, you understand the formula, you just convert it to the programming language. And also you have to test the program. After you've done it, you have to make sure that the cookie is very crunchy as white art or not. And again, any step you can go back and to fix it here. Okay, that's why they call it is a cycle, right? You see a cycle. That means any step If you need to go back to fix something, if you need to go back to update it, you are able to do it here. Okay, and so we learned about the syntax error and the logical error. Right? The syntax error is where the program stop it, and you are the one who had to find it to fix it in order to program to run it here. And logical error, program it run it, but the output is not what you expected here. So it's very basically, yeah. You also learn something about the loop. You loop with specified number of iterations that if you want to run it for 10 times or 100 times, you know for sure before you run the loop. Or you run the loop with unspecified number of iterations. You are the one who control it. So maybe 1 time, 2 times, 2 iterations, the other time maybe 5 iterations or so on. Also, yeah, I mentioned a little bit about the Python integrated development environment, or you can work with a Visual Studio Code, whatever you want. I mentioned a little bit about the procedural programming and object-oriented program. And so I mentioned about the pseudocode already, right? And the Raptor also. Yes, sure. Sorry for that. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah. As usual, I will upload the recording in the announcement, and you can watch it later. So sorry. Now, in this class, so you do something with the Python. With the Python, you do something with the Python. So that's why I also have something with the basic introduction to Python. For this chapter, I have something very, very basic. That's enough for you to do with the homework. So it's a Python again. I Python. So whenever you want to get the input from user, you use the input function. Again, input function is a built-in function. You do not have to define it. You just use it here. Right? The input function is always build a string from the user keystroke and return it to the program. Okay. Remember, in the input function, it always got it from user, but it always in the string format, whatever it is. So even that you put the number 50 here, it is in string format. So if you want to use it in the number operation, think about you want to multiply it, you want to add it or subtract it, you have to convert it into the number format. Right? So you can see it here in the you can run it with the Python in the interactive mode here. Think about I had input and a number. Right, so I put number 50 here. Now I print out it. So see what you can see it here. The 50 here is put in the double, so in the quote mark here. That means it's string. So everything is in the Python, if you put it in the quote mark, it is string format. Right? And now you see what happened here. If I put it y equal to x plus 10 here, I want to increase it by 10 to the 60 here, right? I got the syntax error. I got the syntax error because actually you cannot add string with the number here. Right? So in order to do that, make sure that when you work the Python, whenever you got the input in the number format, you have to convert it into the number format. And basically, if you want to convert it into the number format, you have the two built-in function again. It's an int function or float function. Right? So we can see for this one here, I can use x equal to int x. Int x is a function to convert the number into integer format. Integer format is a round number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or -5 or -10. Right? So after this one here, now I bring it again. It is number here. It's a number here. Now if I want to add it to the number y equal to x plus 10 again, it's okay now, right? It's okay now. Right? So yes, that's the first step. Whenever we work with the Python, whenever we work with the input function, remember that it always get it in the string format. So if you want to do everything with the number format, you have to convert it into you have to convert it into the number format. And think about this one. I do it again. Enter the number. And this time I put it number 15.7 here. This is float number, right? That is a float number. Float number is the number you have input of the integer part and decimal part here, right? And again, in the Python, if you want to convert it in the Python to the number, you have to use the function, float function. If you want to convert it into the number format. And again, if you want to convert it into the format, you use the int function. But if you want to convert it in the floating number, you use the float here. So again, you see, if I work it from here, I bring it out right. Again, it is string format, right? But now I convert it and we have x equal to float here. X. Now I have y equal to x plus 10. Now y work now, right? Okay. So yeah, for now I just want to keep in mind that whenever we got the input function from the Python, remember it always string format. And if you want to use it in the number format, you have to convert it by the int function or float function. Or you can combine them together at one time, right? So think about this one. I can combine them together. I enter the number here. I put it on this one, but now I can convert it from here. I can convert it from here. I put everything inside this one. Right? So now for this one, I put the number 15. I bring down number 15. So we can do it at one time. You can combine them together in one line. It's okay. Okay. Now that is the first thing about the Python. It's very simple here. The first step when we got the input, right? When we got the input from user. Now in the Python, you have the sum of the very simple calculation operation here. Calculation operation or the Python, you can add them together. Because if you either have two numbers, right? You can add them together. You can subtract it. This star here is that when you want to time them together. Right? Division here and integer division. That means you only got the integer part of it. And you have remainder. It's that when we divide, what is the remainder? It return it here. Right? And you have exponent here. So basically, you can work out with the Python with all of this one. You can see, you can observe what is it here. So let me get this one. So we can think about this one. I have, let me make this thing x equal to 20. You have y equal to 10. Now we can do it as x plus y here, right? X plus y, you have the 30 here, or x minus y. You have the x times y. You have x divided by y. Now I think it should be better. I put it. So now I do with the integer division. So we have x divided by y. It returns about only the integer part of it. And how about x modulo y? What do you think? What I have here? If x is 25 and y is 10, so what is x remainder here? What is the remainder? Yeah, you 5, right? You got the 5 because actually when you have the 25 divided by 10, you got 2, but you have the remainder as a 5, right? So if you have x equal to 2. Y equal to 2 to 3 here. So we have x exponent y. You have 8 here, right? Okay, so that is very some of very basic operation you can do with the Python. Now, so that is everything about input, right? You got the input already. You got the processing, everything about the processing here. Now, the last step, you want to take it out, right? The last step, you want to take it out. So basically, in the Python, if you want to take it out, you can use the print function here. print function is what you want to print it out. Right? So you have the print hello world, it print out the string hello world, right? Or you can print out whatever you want here. So you think about this one here. I can write a very simple program. Okay, so now for this program, I get from user, right? You have I have int, sorry, I have int input, put the number, the first. Okay, again, yes, one more thing I forgot to mention. The enter first number here is a prompt, right? Again, it's a prompt to tell user what he had to do here, what he exactly does that. For this one, it tell him that he had to enter a number. And so again, in every program, always try to include the prompt. Try to include the meaningful and helpful prompt to make it more sense to the end user. So I have the first number. I store into the variable x here. I can do it again with the second one. I do it y here, and then the second number. Now, see, that's the process of the input, right? I got the input from user. I got the input from user for 2 integer number. Now I want to find out what is the sum of the 2 number. So I can put it another variable here. I put what? Sorry. So now, see that program. I got input. I do everything with the processing, right? And now it's the last step. I want to print it out. Right? So for this one, I print it out. I use a function here for print. I use a print thing for this one. Very simple program, right? So I can run it here and sorry. So I put the number 20, I put the number 10. I got the sum is the 30 here, right? So that is again it's a very simple program, but I want to show you how we get the input from Python, how we do processing, and then how we print it out with the output here. Right? And again, for this one, you can make it more sense about add the prompt for this one here, right? So we can put it the sum is 20%. Okay, so again, I think that's all for the Python for the chapter 1, because that's all you need to do with the assignment for the chapter 1. Okay, so now come back to so I think that we've done everything with the lecture. Now we come with the sum of the homework here. Work with some of the homework. When we go to the module, scroll it down. This class break it down into the 8 modules. Each of the week we had 1 module here. So when you scroll it down, we have the sum of the assignment here, and you know that everyone has specific date. Again, remember that I want to remind you again that for every discussion you have 2 due dates, right? And the first due date is have to suppose you have to put initial code on Thursday today, and you have to follow it up, and you have to make sure you have to reply at least 2 other students on Sunday. So basically, discussion I just let you guys to discuss with each other. I do not involve much with the discussion, but I want to help you with some of the assignment about debugging exercise here. So debugging exercise, when you go to the debugging exercise, you have to click on this link here. Link it, you have the link it, download it from the SendGate. It link you to the SendGate. Okay, link it out to SendGate and download it here. Okay, so for the basically for every debugging exercise for each of the for each week you have the 4 program. You have the 4 program, and normally 3 of them they are in pseudocode, and the last one, number 4, it is the flow chart, right? And you are the one who have to correct it. So now think about this one here. When I open the pseudocode for this one. Okay, so whenever we work with pseudocode, it's my first recommendation is that you have to read in the header comment to know what is the purpose of the program. Right? So when you understand what is the purpose program, it's very helpful for you to work with the pseudocode. Now, if you look on this program, it's very simple program here. Right? You can think about this one. You got this program here. You break it down in the input here. This one input here. Input. Everything here is the processing. Processing. And this one output. So you can see you have the keyword input here. That means you got it from manager. And you have the output. That means you are bringing it down. That's all. Now see, if you look on this program, what's wrong with this what's wrong with this program here? Can you tell what's wrong with this program? What's wrong with this program? What do you think? What do you think about this one? What's wrong here?
Number 1, it's the price times 0.25.
Yes, right? Yeah, right. So we see again. That's why. Yes.
I was going to say they spelled discount wrong. It's just.
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, you have the many errors with this one, right? You have more than one error with this one. But the thing is that again, that's why my recommendation. The first step you have to read about the header command to understand what is the purpose program. You got discount for 10% here, right? You got discount for 10% here. That's why you have the discount equal to the price time. This one you have to change it for 1 week. But again, you still have the error with this one here, right? You got input from user, you store it into this variable name here. You store it in this variable name, but when you use it in the operation, you use another price. You use another variable name here. That you got the syntax error. You got the syntax error. That's why also you have to change it to original price. Must be consistent with this one, right? And after that, you have the final price equal to the original price. This one also is not consistent with this one. Okay. So yes, that's something you have to correct for this one. You are expected to correct for this one with this one here. Okay. And you see. So basically, this one is very simple program. You can look it straightforward and you can see what's wrong with this one. But some of them will be more complicated. So in that case, you can convert it into the Raptor, or you can convert it into the Python to see what's wrong with this one. All right. So think about this one here. Let me do with this one let me do with this one with the Raptor. You can see what's wrong with this one. Yes, this one. Okay. So we can see I can convert this one to the Raptor. I can convert this one to Raptor. So in order to do that, I got the input here, right? I got the input, and to make it more sense, I put the from the original. And I start in the variable name. What's the variable name here, right? That is a stored here. Now I got it from end user. I do with everything with the processing. Right? I do everything with processing. That's why I do the assignment here. So in the assignment, I assign the value of discount here to I just copy exactly. I want to follow the same. See what wrong with this one. Right? And I have one more. Processing. I have the final price. And same. That's the last step. I then do the output here. I do the output and I bring it down. I do the prompt here. The final price is added with the final price. Okay, that is very simple program, right? So now you can run it here. You can see what's wrong with here. Now I enter the original price 100. See, it's not a problem here, right? It's not the syntax error here because the price is not found. The price here is not found, right? So basically, what happened with this program here? Basically, what happened with this program? You can see it here. You got it original price from the end user, right? Think about he enters 100 here. And it's stored in the variable name. You can see it's stored in the variable name here. Right? Now we move to this one. You assign the value of this discount to the price times 0.25. But when the program runs, right, it tries to locate where's the price. Where's the price? Have nothing here. Right? You have nothing here. That's why you got the syntax error here. And you know that is because of the inconsistent variable name with this one. Right? And in order to correct it, you have to change it here. You have to change this one to you have to change this one to make it consistent. Yeah. Now that's the first thing. Now I can run it again. I still have the odd error here, right? At 100 here. Okay. This one here again. This one. It is not consistent here, right? This curve here and this curve here is not consistent. Okay, so you have to correct it also. You have to correct. Again, this one is a syntax error, right? That's why you have program stop here. Right? Program stop here. That's why you have to correct it, and you have to correct it from this one, this curve. Set it already. So now I put 100 here. It worked, right? 75. But still, I expect that whenever I enter the number 100, I got 10% discount. I got the 90 here. Right? But this one I got the 75. This is a logical error. Right? So this one I had to modify this one instead of the 25%. I had to modify it to the 10%. That's why testing is very, very important in every program. So that's why I put it number 100 here. I got the 90. That's the correct here. Right? And you can do the same. You can do the same with the Python also. You can do the same with the Python. You can see what's wrong with this one. Let's do everything here. And then copy it here and then put it in the Python. So for this one, I have original price equal to float. I use the float. And of course, in the Python, if you want to use the output, you have to use the function print. Okay, you see, if you work with the Visual Studio Code, even that before you compile it here, it tell you what's wrong here. Right? See, this one here is not consistent. This one here is not consistent. That's why I strongly recommend you when you work with the Python instead of work with the Python IDEO. You can work with Visual Studio Code or PyCharm or whatever it is. It's more convenient way to work with this one. And of course, for this one, I know that I have to correct it here. Right? I have to correct this one. I change it to this one, and so I have to correct this one. I replace this one, and I change it to the one. Okay, now I run it again. I want 100 here. I put a 90 here, right? Or you can make it more than I put here. The final price is okay. So that is the first one. That is the first one. Now let's move to the second one. Any question for this one? Hello? It's very straightforward, right? Very straightforward. Okay, how about this one? What do you think? What's wrong with this one here? What's wrong with this one? Now, the first step again, I strongly recommend you have to read what is the purpose. This pseudocode intends to compute the number of mile per gallon you get with your automobile. I think about this one, right? For this program, you need the two input. It's how many miles you travel and how many gallon you consume. Yeah, right? Think about this one here. You travel for 100 miles and you use a 5 gallon here, right? So now you can find out mile per gallon is 100 divided by 5. It has a 20, right? Okay. So of course you can see that for this one, you can see what's wrong with this one here. Right? Of course, this one cannot plug here. Actually, you have to divide here, right? And so you have some of the inconsistent variable here. You have to find out. So basically, that is the way you work with the debugging exercise. You have to locate and you have to find out what is the error syntax error and what is the logical error in your program. Right? And yeah, you can do the same with the number 3 and number 4. Now I come back to the number 4 here. Come to the number 4. Now come to the number 4. So basically in the number 4, it is a flow chart. Yeah, is the number 4 is a flow chart. So it's up to you. You have many options to work with this one. I made it in the announcement already. I made it in announcement. I believe I made it in announcement already. Okay, how to work with the assignment in the number 4, right? So you can you can use a drawing tool to redraw it. You can use a Microsoft Word or Draw.io, whatever. Right? Or you can you think it's hard for you, you can use blank paper and you can draw it and you take the photo, submit it, it's okay for you. Or you can use a raster. You can use raster very. It's the same with the flowchart, right? You can use raster and capture a screen and have it submit. Or the last thing, you can rewrite it in the pseudocode. It's up to totally up. It's totally up to you. So now come back to this one here, right? So come back to this one. You can see, you can, I think that if you want to redraw it, should be better you work with the Draw.io. Draw.io, create a new line diagram. Okay, so in the Draw.io also we have many. Yeah, you can work with flowchart here. You see, you have the start and stop here, right? You take your start here, you have stop here, right? You have what is yes, you have input here, right? You have input here. Where's the processing? the rectangle. It's this one. Yeah. You can do with the rectangle. And so basically, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want, or you can work with the raptor also. You can work with the raptor also for this one. Think about this program. You can work with the raptor here. Okay, for this one. So now you see, this is input, right? So we can write and drag and drop the input for this one. Drag and drop the input for this one. And you have to modify. You get the input the table spool or something. Right? So okay, we have the 4 options to do that, and it totally is up to you, whatever you want. So any question? So far? Any question with the debugging exercise or any? No, right? Okay, that is the first thing in this. Okay, the second one is a raptor. So actually, the raptor I just what I did it to you on the class. Right? So yeah, it's very simple program. You for this program you need to get the width and the length from a rectangle and have to find out what's the area of the rectangle. Okay? It's very simple. And if you are not really clear about how to do with this raptor, you can watch a recorded video again. Right? Any question for this one? Any question for the raptor program here? If you need any help from me, let me know. No, right? It's very simple here. You can see it this one. Now the last thing is that I think the last assignment here is that you can you have to execute the code in the Python. So again, this one will link to the second. This link to the second, and you have the sandbox to work with the Python for this one. To work the Python for this program. Okay, and have to click the start assignment now. It links to the virtual computer in the second. Okay, so if you look at this program, what program is execute here? What do you think? What is the purpose of this program?
To learn how to
Yes, just print it out, right? Because you have the print function here and print it out. Everything inside the double quote mark is string here. Right? So basically, it execute and print it out. I'm learning how to program. So you can see you can run it from here. I'm learning to program now. You need the first step when you work with execute a Python program, you have to look on the left. It is you have the summary and you have some of the instruction to tell you step by step what you have to do, right? So the first thing here, execute program, there should be no syntax error, right? And note the output of the program. Now the second step, you have to modify the program so it display I am learning how to program in the Python. How we do it? Yeah, use that, right? the print function, user copy the text and paste it here. User copy the text and put it here. And put everything on this one, copy the text and put it here. Okay, and run it. What? Oh, sorry. Okay, and the last one, modify program. So that brings the 2 lines of output, and the second output statement display. That's awesome. Yeah, how we do it? So basically, that you have print the 2 lines of output. That means you need one more print function. You need one more print function. So you can copy. Put here. That awesome. Okay, now one more thing about this one. One more thing about the executing Python program. Again, I already made an announcement here. I already made an announcement, and you can look it here. So, how to submit executing code in the Python assignment? You can read it for this one, but for now you can see. In order to submit this kind of assignment, you have to click on this one here. You have to click on this one, right? And you have to, the first step, you can run check how many percent you got it. How many percent you got it. Now you have 100 here. Good. So now make sure that after you check, you have to click the submit, right? And you have to click the confirm. After this step, they will have the automatic rating in the Cengage, and you will sync to the canvas. So yeah, but again, sometimes automatic rating is not really perfect. So for any time if you see that something wrong with the automatic rating, just let me know. I can manually check it and I can manually correct it. Okay. So that is some. Now the last step is quiz. Again, quiz here is a link to the Cengage. Which here link to the Cengage. And yes, they have the multiple choice answer for you to move this one. So yeah, you have the 20 question and they are multiple choice. And yeah, again for this one, in order to do that, I recommend you have to read again about the reading assignment, and you read about in the slide again in order to do this one. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all. That's all for the module 1. And basically, I mentioned that basically I try to finish lecture on Tuesday and on Thursday and help you with the homework. And if you have anything you need my help with the homework, you can stay after class, or you can, yeah, of course, you can join the Zoom meeting and you can raise any question. Okay. So if you have any questions, just let me know. You can look it again for any assignment, and if you need any help from me, just let me know. I think the first week is very simple here, right? So not much of the work. So anyway, if you need any help, just let me know. Any question, guys? So I'll stop recording.